welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me as always is Ben Slinger.
Hello, and guesting this week is Andrew from Juicy Cupcake. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, our little podcast here.
Episode 93. And Andrew, do you want to tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I'm from Juicy Cupcake, as you said, a two-man indie team from Adelaide. So we're making our sort of debut big title Brief Battles at the moment, which is a couch game where you battle your friends using superpowered underpants. And in our team, I'm pretty much, I guess, the person that doesn't do programming, anything else like creative in that. That's good to see from me.
One thing I love about Brief Battles is that it really just sounds like a game we would come up with on this show, but you're making it. Like, that's fantastic.
I know it's a real hard one to talk about without any visual representation as well. Because you can take it where you want to take it. But it is sort of, more, you guys have seen it, kids sort of friendly and cute and not so weird on the butt side. There are butts as well. But
I'd love to see just a super sexy raunchy version of it now. Now I'm just thinking about, the opposite of it. I'm not sure.
That's why it's taking so long to release. That's just to say.
Just the risque mode. It's like a Leisure Suit Larry game. You have to answer the questions at the beginning.
Oh man, I used to play that all the time. It was so hard to get through those three questions.
I know. What? I don't know anything about the 70s.
Yeah, and then you find out that in the very first one, if you hit like Alt X, then it was like you could set the level, and if you in Leisure Suit Larry 3, where it came up again, if you hit Control Alt X, you could just get in with any level that you wanted again.
Welcome to the Leisure Suit Larry cheat cast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know too much about Sierra games.
Oh man, I did not know that. I just kept walking out onto the street, getting run over and trying again.
Yeah, I think I was like 9 years old or something like that playing Leisure Suit Larry. That was not great.
I was about to say, the things a 12-year-old does for pixelated titties.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're here for is to do our podcast, which usually contains Click Pitch. So Click Pitch is a game.
And does this week as well.
And does this week. Click Pitch is a game where all three of us have a random word generator. On the count of 3, 2, 1, we're going to click refresh, get ourselves a word each. This time I'm going to have an adjective and the other two guys are going to have nouns. And we're going to shove those words together and come up with a game design.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, click.
Incognito.
This is going to seem like I made this up, but juice.
Okay.
Betting.
All right.
Some incognito juice betting.
Well, I was just thinking, have you guys ever had horse juice?
Where's this going?
It's like juice made from horses. It's a delicacy in certain regions.
Like what part of the horse?
Oh, I mean, just whatever you can find.
Okay, so where I was thinking was that you're at like the World Juicing Championships and you're trying to
juice a horse.
No, you're trying to be incognito as you try to like find out maybe some illegal betting that's happening.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I think people would be betting. I mean, people would be betting on the juicing championships. Like, it's maybe it's about like going incognito to sabotage the other contestants in some way. Like, I don't know, inserting something into their carrot so that when they juice it, it blows up their juicer or something.
You're really talking about inserting something into fruit and vegetables right now, are you, Ben?
Classic Australia. Oh, man.
Well, it's topical.
So what you're thinking, knitting needles or sewing needles or whatever it is, of pins?
Whatever's going to hurt the most children.
God.
That's so grim.
Very grim.
Just radio something.
I don't know. I feel like there's some gameplay in juicing. Choosing the right things to juice. Is this like, do you have a juicer? Or, I mean, I guess if this is a champion, is it like a manual thing? So like you're juicing like the way you juice a lemon, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's got to be VR then.
Well, yeah,
VR juicing.
Yeah, definitely.
You may guess, Andrew, that we like to go to the VR well, maybe a little bit too often. We do love VR. Okay. But I like the idea of actually getting the tactile feel of trying to juice, while also the tactile feel of sabotaging someone else. Maybe by squirting lemon juice in their eye or something like that.
Yeah.
Classic incognito technique, yes.
Well, that's it.
Well, once they're blind,
yeah.
Once you're blind, you're really incognito.
The other way we could take juice is there's the sort of game design term around juicing up your game, right? Which is usually around kind of making it feel good to play in subtle ways. So like screen shake and, I don't know, you probably know more about this than I do, Andrew.
Just that ultimate juicy vibe of the gameplay.
Yeah. So maybe it's like a stealth game with really juicy like feedback whenever you're seen or something.
Just got those mad juice feels when you're playing. Yeah. I feel like I've forgotten the third word now. I've just got incognito juice in my head. What are we?
Betting.
Betting.
Juice betting. Getting off track.
I just love the idea of you get caught and like, you get this massive like thing in the center that's like, flying out at you going, you got seen.
Yeah, totally. Screen shake, just like.
You do it in the sort of overcooked scene where you're all juicing and just got to sneakily do some bad juicing and.
Some bad juicing. Juicing could also be like taking steroids.
It could, absolutely.
We're going in a lot of different directions here.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just click it again.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Flipping.
War.
What is it good for?
Bewilderment.
Flipping war. Bewilderment, yes.
Okay.
Why do I get the feeling that the flipping in this is, how teenagers today, they probably still enjoy the water flip.
The water bottle flip? Okay. So this is about, like, the war of the Gen Zers.
And how apathetic they are.
They're just, like, flipping water bottles at each other.
Oh, God. No, okay, so war and flipping and bewilderment.
Bewilderment.
Is it just like a CD ragdoll game where you could have it in VR if you like, and you're just flipping the hardest you can? It's a battle of the flipping, and you have to bewilder the judges, confuse and amaze them.
You're like a human 3-card Monty.
Yeah, just flip away.
It's like which cup am I going to be under? Flip, 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 flip.
Now I'm seeing it as a water bottle flip, but with ragdolls, so you're actually flipping humans.
They're just having to land on their feet.
Grab them, flick them around.
Okay, so I think it's a game in which giants actually came to Earth. They won the war, and now they spend all their time just flipping humans.
Flipping humans.
And this happens to be, a competition, but the judges are also humans, so they're just sort of like perplexed and confused by this whole.
Well, wait. How about you play these giants that came down to Earth? And it's a war game. It's kind of like a real-time strategy game, but to attack the other team, you literally just pick up your troops and throw them. flip them towards the enemy.
As an opponent, I would be bewildered by that.
Well, exactly. So I kind of like the strategic idea of just like, and maybe it's like it probably doesn't damage to them. They might not all survive. So maybe it's not your main kind of mechanic, but I love that idea of like, oh shit, they're attacking the base and I'm too far away. Just grab a handful of knights and just throw them.
Just give them a flip.
Yeah. I'm sort of also getting this image that you can like set up some contraptions. Kind of like, when you were a kid and you got like an eraser, a ruler, and you chuck something else on it and you just slammed your fist down the other side of the ruler just to flip it. I'm picturing, sort of picking up one of you guys, throwing him on the other end of this massive tree and just stomping down and just catapulting your human across the battlefield. So we're saying in this war that there's like 2 different giant tribes that are going up against each other, and they've each got like a group of humans.
Yeah, basically, at least 2.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm just picturing. So this is the like the intro movie. It's sort of a classic battle scene down on the ground. There's the front line and the general's there, and he goes charge, and they go up over the hill. And you know how the classic shot is of like the arrows raining down from the other side? It's just people. It's just other warriors, just like just a tumble of them, just like just coming straight down, just arcing over into this mass of enemies.
That's awesome.
Okay, I need to make this game.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll leave it on that note because that's can't do better than that.
That's like really solid.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Senior.
Blessed.
Adultery.
Blessed senior adultery. Yes.
Hashtag blessed.
God.
Well, I don't know if this game will make it through the ratings board in Australia. But
if they've got a problem with the healthy sex life, adulterous as it may be, of, septuagenarians, octogenarians, and above, then that's on them. I think there could be a story here. Narrative sort of character study.
You know what I'm picturing?
I don't want to, but tell me anyway.
Okay, so it's been, how many years since Leisure Suit Larry? it's Leisure Suit Larry, but it's now set in like, he's at a senior's home. And
yes.
like as many years later.
God. That actually would be a way better new Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, yes. Much better than that dodgy new thing that's coming out. Like, ugh.
Anyway, keep going. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So I like the idea of having some of these other octogenarians who are sort of giving Larry shit because of his womanistic ways. So they're trying to actually change him even at this late stage of his life. And the whole blessed thing comes in from the idea that he's actually feeling like he's got a new lease on life.
Well, and I think he just look, because he was. I've just looked up the Wikipedia page. The first game came out in 1987. He was apparently in his 40s. So that works perfectly.
Yep.
He's now in his 70s. And he's still the dirty old man with, kind of a heart of gold, except actually not really. He's really sort of a bastard.
Yep.
And this is much less than the other games. And look, the other games didn't particularly glorify him and his behavior, but, it was still pretty pervy.
Yeah.
In this day and age, I don't think you want to do that. But I think this game that is treating him much more like this. He's not a good guy. He's this pervy old man, and but he's in this senior's home, and it's kind of. I guess it's still got to be hijinks, but hopefully he gets his comeuppance.
It's good.
I really like this idea.
I think Blessed Senior Adultery seems like a game that could exist. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The subtitle for Under Leisure Suit Larry.
That's it. Leisure Suit Larry.
Blessed
Senior Adultery. And blessed can come from hashtag blessed because he's definitely trying to crack on to like 21-year-olds still.
Oh, he's trying to crack on to like the granddaughters that are coming in.
Yeah,
the older ones,
and he's like pathetically trying to speak the lingo and just using it all wrong.
I just thought that'd be a nice little tie back to the intro.
Yeah,
that was very solid. Yeah,
that's good. I like that.
But it works.
Allo, if you're listening, come speak to us. We've got ideas.
He's not even involved in the new one.
Well, but that's the problem. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Typist.
Fund.
All right. So I saw Typist and I immediately thought this has got to be a typing game. Like some mechanic built on speed typing because I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
Typing of the Dead. Wasn't there a Mario one? I don't know. Mavis Beacon.
I feel like I haven't seen these games, but I'm intrigued. It's good.
You haven't seen Typing of the Dead is do you know House of the Dead?
Yes, I'm
the like shooting game from Sega. It was an arcade shooting game, but they brought out I think that was on Dreamcast too, wasn't it? You could plug your keyboard in.
I think so, but I know it was definitely on PC.
It was definitely on PC. Basically, you were shooting zombies by typing the words
above their head
quickly enough. Exactly, yeah.
And if you made a mistake, then you had to start again, and it was just like you had to start the word again.
I think the mechanic has to be around typing in words accurately.
Like that's good.
Yeah. So what else do we have? Embarrassing fund. So I'm thinking some sort of I was thinking some sort of management game. I know you hate those, Trevor.
Yes, I hate those.
And it might be a bit too boring in this case.
What I was sort of thinking is, yes, I love the idea that it's a typing game. It's embarrassing, but it's got to have something to do with Kickstarter, I think. I think funding is something.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that in the game, you're sort of, you're typing out maybe press releases. And, you can have some fun, fast typing things of, you got this amount of time to get this particular thing typed out, but you're only typing specific words of it. But, it's going to get automatically, released at some stage, but you're trying to not embarrass yourself.
Yeah, well I like that because it could basically be, you're tasked with creating these posts or whatever. But typos are going to embarrass you, right? Like typos are going to be bad for your business. You're going to get less backers. Look, you've been through a Kickstarter, Andrew. You should.
I like this press release idea. Maybe it's like giving you every sort of second or third word, but like while you're doing that, so first of all, we've done like every second or third word, but that kind of makes up an embarrassing sentence. But then you fill in more words and it becomes less embarrassing and more like a proper press release.
And if you don't get through it fast enough, it releases it with the embarrassing version.
Yeah, that's it. So that could be a good way to go.
I love the idea that you're someone who the only way they can type out a press release is to it like from the outside in kind of thing. Like they can't go just left to right and start to bottom. They have to sort of flesh it out in broad strokes.
I think every fifth word and then just build a premise.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. Well, maybe it could be a bit of like add in some context shift sort of stuff as well where you've got different things that you're typing at once. So maybe you're like the PR person for this Kickstarter campaign and you're answering emails and you're writing press releases and you're like, I don't know, typing out fucking bank transfers or something. I don't know. But you have to make sure you're on the right one for the word that's coming up. Like it doesn't necessarily tell you which word it's for. Maybe you have to figure out which word it's for.
This is endgame stuff here. Sounds good.
Yeah, so you sort of have to just switch between them to figure out, oh shit, that word goes onto that one goes onto that one. And again, they're all timed. They're going to release at certain times. And you've got your dashboard of like your backers and stuff. And you really screw up. You just see it dip. Your money's going down the drain. Yeah, I like that.
Got to hit that goal.
Yeah,
I like it.
Stretch goals. Right, stretch goal releases, but
You miss out
the wrong words in there.
You miss out a zero, and everyone all of a sudden is going for that particular one. And it's like, oh, why are they all going for this $5,000? Oh my god, I put it down as 5.
And just to really make things difficult, maybe you're also like an amateur erotic fiction writer, and so that's one of the things that the words are coming up for. So really don't mix that up. Really don't mix that up.
Good. It's like you're doing your side project on the side. That's one of those ones you might accidentally dip into.
Yeah, your little side hustle. Totally.
Yeah, I'm picturing at the moment just you've got all these like word balloons that are coming around your character's head as he's writing, or as he's sitting at the computer. So you sort of see one sort of see where he's seeing the back, but then you also see the document off to the side, and you can select what tab you're actually on.
Well, that could be interesting too, because there could be some sort of timing based thing where you've got your few different documents in front of you, but the words are moving, and it's when you finish typing it, it like falls down into the document.
Oh, yeah.
Just filth dropping into your press release. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's crazy, but yeah, I like it. 3 to 1 click.
Yeah. Upholstery.
Export.
Dismal.
Okay. Okay. So you are the head of a furniture export company.
And things aren't looking good.
Things aren't looking good. Well, and also just your upholstery itself is just horrible. Like the patterns, nobody wants to buy it.
I'm seeing this as almost like a a game in which you can choose. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure of, do we go down the importing drugs route? Do we go down the, like, importing weapons sort of route? Just to, and sewing it into the couches.
Into the couches.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those weird sort of things. It turns into a management game, which I hate.
Yeah, it does
Stuff it into VR, and you're actually there in a time limit stuffing those couches full of drugs.
Just got to find all the different little pockets and things that you can slice open and get drugs into.
And because the upholstery is so horrible, like, there's not people coming in that often, but there's like elderly people coming through, and there's like a slow warning that you see them opening the door, and you got like another 10 seconds to pack that couch.
Sew it back up.
Put the plastic back on it.
And sell it to unbeknowing elderly people, and they will be drug smugglers for you.
Yeah, totally. We're back at senior again, too.
That's good.
Easter egg. Larry comes in with his new girlfriend. 100%.
Got a new couch.
Couch of drugs that I ordered.
This will be perfect to take our teeth out and just make out on this couch.
Hashtag blessed.
This is part of the series. It's good.
Yeah, it's like a little side game, mini game.
Yeah, so it's just one scene. You know, they go back. The plastic's still on the couch as you see them going at it.
Oh God, it's worse if the plastic's on, because I'm not going to go into what happens to liquid. Well, I was going to say I'm not going to go into what happens to liquids on plastic versus fabric, but whatever. They're old. They don't have any liquids.
Dust.
Oh dear, this is
It's getting bad. 3, 2, 1, click. Bright.
Coping.
Cramp.
Yeah, I've got nothing for this one.
Coping with a cramp. Maybe you're like a runner, or like a long distance runner. There's some sort of cramp based mechanic.
What about you're a bright up and coming masseuse, and you're having to deal with the runners that come by, and you're sort of like trying to keep up with them, massaging their calves as they're running.
Wait, as they're running?
As they're running. I'm picturing it in VR, but you're having to like...
I was about to say, like a massage game in VR could be interesting.
Yeah, working the thumbs on the thumbstick, like, because I'm thinking just either... Well, actually, no, you can even do Vive as well.
You'd have to have touch controls, surely.
Oh, well, you can do it with the touchpads on the Vive. You know, that's still moving your thumbs. But yeah, having to use like...
Oh, you know, I see. You're actually having to move your thumbs to like dig into the...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have online competitive with VR yet? So you could all be like competing against each other so your runner can win? You're like following them around on the track, massaging those cars.
Or maybe it's like you're the pit... Maybe it's like you're the pit crew. Like they're racing around... a circular track, and you have to make sure they come in at the right time, and you just have to quickly like work out those knots
and choose the right oils to like squirt down on your
totally
your
change their shoes. There's a lot you could do there. You could do there. Like if you make it a full on pit crew kind of thing, and really lean into that metaphor, or like
so it's just next like, level racing game. It's good.
I love the image of them just like running into the pit stop, slide like you've got like an area for them, and they just like jump and slide onto their belly. So and you've got you'd have to come up and just like massage. All right, pull the shoes off, put a new pair of shoes on, squirt the oils, spray water into their mouth. And then just like
don't do it wrong.
Don't do it wrong. Don't put the oil in the mouth. Don't massage the wrong bit. Don't get the shoes on the wrong feet.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be good. That'd work well as
good.
a VR game.
But you could do the shoes on the wrong feet, and you could see the repercussions of that when they get back out on the track.
Totally.
Oh, definitely.
Fantastic.
That's a good job for a talented animator to sort of animate them running and kind of their feet just sort of not quite going right. Yeah.
Oh, I can just imagine, like, you've got a team of, like, 5 or 6 runners per pit crew, so you're having to do a lot of massaging and trying to remember, okay, Kevin's allergic to lavender oil, so you can't use the lavender, you've got to use something else. And,
yes.
And, like, Mitchell is a size 13 shoe, so you've got to have them ready.
And, like, Jessica wants Mountain Dew, not water.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna have to start like saving money, like your classic Need for Speed, and like unlocking new shoes and upgrades for your runners.
Definitely.
I'm just picturing you're
the
watching
least,
out there
cosmetics.
and you see someone start like limping because they've got a cramp, and it's like, okay, you get it prepared because you know who's coming into the pit next.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome. I would play that.
Sold.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Just motoring through them tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Knock.
Pedal.
Activating.
Knock. Is it pedal or petal?
Pedal. As in
So like a
on
car,
a bike.
Right, yeah. Pedal, activating, knock. Maybe you play a Mormon. Riding a bike around, knocking on doors. We don't have to go the specific religion, I guess. We could just like make it maybe they're aliens. I don't know. It's not an alien planet. Just so we're not offending people, even though it's completely obvious who we're sending up. I feel like we've done a Mormon game before. Anyway.
Probably have. We've done everything.
I'm
at this
not
stage.
sure where activating comes in. Maybe they need to convert X amount of people for their powers to activate.
Good.
What sort of powers do these non-Mormons have?
Oh, I mean,
It's pedal power.
pedal. Yeah, they can go real fast. They get an upgrade to their pedaling.
You can't keep pedaling and door knocking unless you get like minimum conversion ratio.
Yeah, maybe it's just one of those like flash-based upgrade games where.
You just be like pimped out Mormon.
Yeah, by the end, you just, you get the next upgrade to sort of get you closer and closer as you get more conversion points.
There's a market for this, probably.
Is it one of those things that you never quite reach, or you can never do it on the free version? So you got to actually like pay for those credits.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably more of a phone game where you could do it on the free version, but you'd have to play for 10 times as long.
And it's all ad
Just
supported.
like life.
All ad supported, and if you try, blocking your network so the ads don't come up,
Then
then
God smites you.
well, no, what happens is you can't connect to the server, so therefore you can't actually continue. You have to do it with full ads, or you can pay $59.99 to unlock the full game.
Sure. All right. I think we're done on that one.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, click. Hole.
Pizza.
Ringing.
Oh, well.
So, hole with a W. So, a whole pizza.
Oh.
I mean, there's a pretty strong leaning here towards some sort of pizza delivery thing with ringing.
Yes.
Or okay, no,
I remember there being like a pizza delivery or pizza tycoon or something like that.
Yeah, I think there was a pizza tycoon.
What I'd love to see is like, I used to be a pizza delivery driver, so I know what it's actually like out there, how weird some of the people are that you meet doing this. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of you're a pizza delivery driver, you're delivering, whole pizzas, so it's not pizzas by the slice. It's, you're sort of traveling in the city, getting to apartments, sort of trying to get there within, the time limit that you've got, almost Crazy Taxi-esque, but not quite as sharp.
Well, yeah.
Hard time limits. But
yeah.
then,
because I think kind of mini games almost, or like different challenges for actually delivering the pizzas.
Yeah.
So if it is an apartment building, there's sort of something else you have to do there about getting in or getting up there.
Yeah, and then each place that you get to, you ring the doorbell and you've got like a conversation that you have that you can learn about these people that you're delivering to.
Yeah, I like that because you'll have repeat customers. And so you sort of start getting ideas. You like see things going on in the background. I like that idea of just getting a glimpse into these people's lives, but just from their front door.
But also you hear on the TV in the background, like some news that's going on about some attack somewhere, and you only get a little snippet of it because it only comes on at the end just as they're shutting the door.
Is this game going to end up with you thwarting a terrorist attack through pizza delivery?
No, I was actually thinking, it's just,
it's just world building.
It's just world building, and
although I do like that idea because there is the classic thing of like people holding hostages and the pizza guy having to bring the pizzas in, and like the cops smuggle guns in, or I don't know, or the bad guys smuggle guns into their partners in there or something.
It just sounds like one of those sort of therapeutic games where like you actually end up, you don't realize it, but you're just playing someone's life anyway, and you're just going around delivering pizza for hours on end after work. Delivering pizza.
Are you saying that we literally hook this up to remote controlled cars? then
This is actually
it's like
Domino's.
it's like the Ender's Game of pizza, and you
don't
don't
know what like that little Drew bot that makes pizza to your house is all about. Surely, maybe it's run by this.
There you go. It's you just convince these players that they're playing a game, but really it's taking in real data and like translating it into game form. So you can like crowdsource their AI.
These graphics kind of look, I don't know, like they've just put like a Photoshop and a couple of Photoshop filters over like a video or something. Looks hyper-realistic.
I don't know. I think maybe to get away with this, they'd have to put some real tech work into it, and it like scans, the actual little drone scans the environment and sends it back, and the world is then created in 3D, like in an actual 3D space. As a result,
in real time. Like good use of the technology if it existed.
Yeah.
Come on, just throw a Kinect on there. It's got depth sensing. That's enough.
So I'm picturing this almost like a role-playing game, in that you can gradually power up your delivery driver with like
stripes.
Yeah, stripes to make him go faster, or put some little tchotchkes or something on his uniform to make him feel better about himself, and
like dice hanging from the mirror.
Yeah, and just little things like that. But I like the idea of being able to do side quests in which maybe the person who you're getting pizza for, they ring you up and actually say, hey, if you go get me like a 6-pack of beer, I'll give you extra money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I kind of like that idea of getting to know your coworkers and your boss as well. Yeah. And really building up the story and characters around that. And look, I'll lampshade it because this is very much sort of Papers, Please, but with pizzas. Pizzas, Please.
There you go. It's good
in certain ways, but there's something so compelling about a game like Papers, Please, where you are just kind of getting a glimpse into these people's lives through a relatively mundane kind of task and day-to-day sort of job, which is why we go to that well so often.
Yeah,
but no, I like it. That'd be cool, and maybe there's even pizza making mini games in there that can affect your outcome. You have to make the pizzas first.
Yep.
Yes.
I did have something else, but I can't remember now. The whole Pizzas, Please.
Yeah.
Just totally ripped it out of my head.
It was just so good. It was just
very impressive.
Blew your minds.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click. Permission.
Proper?
Repaired.
This is a game where you play a high school student.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to go on the big trip to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents give you permission, and that's great. But then you fuck up big time and get drunk. You come home drunk. They tear up the permission slip. Now you have to go on a wacky third-person platforming adventure to find all the pieces of this permission slip and repair it. So you can go on the big trip.
I see.
It's a 2D platformer. A la all the old Disney ones that they used to do.
Oh, I was going to say the old Apogee ones. I was thinking like a Commander Keen sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's shareware too. So you only get like, maybe a third of the permission slip.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you got to buy the rest, even though everyone always just pirated it anyway.
I mean, shareware is just called freemium these days, right? So watch this ad to get a permission slip piece. I mean, basically, often.
Yeah, but a lot of the shareware was just like, here's the first episode. If you want the next 2 episodes, pay us money, motherfucker.
Yeah, but I mean, that's sort of what I guess freemium is a bit different. Anyway, we're going off track. Platformer. So you think 2D platformer. So is this the classic sort of, the permission slips bits you find are just like these big pieces, these big fragments of paper just floating in the air with stars around them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's collectibles that literally float in the air.
Yep.
Because again, I think your character he needs to comment on this as well and go, what the fuck is all this shit floating in the air for?
Oh, so it's like fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see a game kind of playing off those old school 2D platformers.
Does it have to be more of a struggle because you are still hungover while you're out on this quest to find...
That's it. Maybe at the start of each level, like the power-ups are like...
Aspirin.
Alka-Seltzer, yeah.
Or hair of the dog that bit you.
But don't have too much of that because you'll just fuck up your whole level. So, yeah, each level's like a day, and you've got a certain amount of days left before the big trip.
Okay, so did it get spread around the neighborhood and therefore you're going through like different people's houses to try and find it? Or did it get like stolen by neo-Nazis and you going on like on like a trip to like...
You end up in the White House. The head neo-Nazi as the final piece.
I can see the negotiations where you do like go to someone's house and they're like, I don't have this, but maybe I do if you go and get me these 3 dogs.
Yes.
You're going out.
Then you have a mission in which you're literally jumping around and you got like different dogs all over this for some reason, like big, like building site. That there's 3 dogs locked in cages that you got to destroy the cages.
Yeah, like you're commenting on why are there so many like vertically oriented sort of building structures around the suburb.
And if I'm in 2D, how do I see what's coming forward? Because it just looks like a line to me.
Oh God, we're going to go that far. Jesus. No, the dogs thing just made me think it's one of those things where they just follow along behind you once you've got them.
I kind of see this as. Did either of you play Monster Bash?
Yeah. That
at the end of each level you had like a cage that you had to destroy that had pets in it?
Oh, okay. Wait, is every mission just like, find some more dogs?
maybe that's the first chapter. It's like, I'll give you my part of the thing if you go save these 9 dogs in these 9 levels.
Yeah, and you bring them back and it's just like, delicious. I was really hankering for some 9-dog chili.
Oh dear. That's good.
And you're just like, well, I'm going to Disneyland.
Well, I'm a third of the way to Disneyland.
I'm a third of the way to Disneyland. By the next 2 episodes, as Johnny Slip bounces his way to Disneyland. Sponsored by Disney.
And in the next episode, he gets a pogo stick or some shit.
Oh man, classic. That seems like a good thing in an old game as a pogo stick.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Gameplay's never great with it.
Slingshots. He's got a slingshot. That was Monster Bash that had the slingshot, wasn't it?
Yeah. The 3rd episode, you get a jetpack a la Halloween Harry.
Totally. And
I'm trying to remember any of the other RPG games other than Commander Keen and Monster Bash and...
Bombs like Cosmo. Suction hands.
Suction cap hands. Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah, it's Cookie again. That was awesome, though.
What a journey.
Yep. Historical.
Guide.
Loading.
The historical loading guide.
Oh, God.
I think this is more like you've gone back in time with a digital history book. And it's sort of trying to tell you how to get through certain situations, but it's just got a very tenuous connection back to the 4G that's sort of still making its way through the portal.
Is he getting a slight Wi-Fi signal from the
slight Wi-Fi signal from the Burger King?
Oh, God. No, I like that idea about traveling through time with a historical guide.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it's like a time traveler's guide to history.
Ooh.
But it's just got really bad load. It's really got really bad load times.
It could be that the guide is telling you super important critical things at that time, but it keeps stuttering and loading, so you're like stuck in danger until it's like, oh, you got to do that.
Exactly.
Sort of
yeah.
So you're always close to death.
Yeah. Maybe it's sort of a like a Dark Souls-esque game where you're sort of having to go through these areas and take people out, but you need the historical guide to sort of tell you the weak points or tell you bits about the area you're in to actually get past these really difficult battles.
So what happens if you die? Is it a la Dark Souls that there's something in the universe that doesn't let you die?
Is that what Dark Souls is about? I've never played it.
Basically, there's something in the world that basically doesn't let you die. It just brings you back to life
into the world. I mean, maybe it just creates some sort of time paradox that resolves itself by, hey, I appeared back over here with full health.
And there's your dead body on the floor. It's all good.
Yeah, well, that works really well with time travel. There's like a failsafe.
And then rats come in and just it's like it's clear. It's like oh.
So this could be a pretty interesting game. You could have some intense puzzle mechanics and adventure stuff like your Tomb Raiders, things like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking Tomb Raider crossed with Dark Souls, like
crossed with that game where you have to like make bridges with the dead versions of yourself. It's like your bodies actually stick around, and so it's like, oh, how do I get through this? There's a gate over there. There's a pressure plate over here. oh, hang on, I'll just shoot myself in the head. The failsafe will go off. Now there's the body fear of my own body. That's a bit like, what was that game? The Shifter or something?
That sounds like a solid party, like a puzzle game mechanic. Sounds pretty good.
Oh, God, that's just scary. It's like, oh my God, I got through this entire game. I didn't die. It's like, but this level, you have to kill yourself so that you can set the pressure plate off.
Oh, but I love that idea that, like, there's a speedrun challenge, or like a challenge of getting through the game without dying. Like, the easy way is to just kill yourself and
on the pressure plate each time. Yep.
Sit through the loading and instructions. It's the other way.
Well,
extra long play.
Exactly.
40-hour play session.
The difficulty ups the loading times.
it ups how long it takes to download that one image.
Yeah, the difficulty settings are like fiber, cable, and then 56K modem.
The boss battles aren't even fun. Like later on, it's just like 10 minutes of loading before it gives you any tips, where you're just trying to run around and survive.
Yeah, exactly.
And then right down the bottom it says, "By the way, this can't be killed." I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, there's no mechanic is like actually in the game until like that 10-minute point for you to do anything.
Well, I love the idea that maybe you can find spots that have better reception. So you have to reach a high point
and hold the phone there. Just it's like
that would actually be
run around.
Actually be a pretty good mechanic of like. The challenge of having to get to a spot and hold your phone in the air, you just like see the progress bar move by like 4% and feel like you have to dodge out of the way of the attack.
That is the boss fight. You are just like getting loading progress. I like it. That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
no GUI, really it's just your phone.
Yeah, just your phone. Yeah.
I'm loving these Tomb Raider mechanics that are coming into my head though. Like, being able to run and set switches off and it opens different parts of the level up and like big open sort of, I'm thinking the older school Tomb Raider rather than the newer school Tomb Raider.
Like from the puzzle point of view or?
Yeah. Or from more of a, like one of the things that I've not liked about the latest Tomb Raiders is that the level design is like, okay, it's very linear. There's an exit here and there's an exit here, and it's like it's not a full open island.
Yeah.
I'm imagining if this would, say you get into a time period, it's fully open, like you can run anywhere that you want. Everything's sort of, you end up on an island and you're just running around the island, but then, you can stumble into something way earlier than you need to.
What sort of time periods are we thinking? What's your drive here? What's the narrative push? What are you trying to do?
Escape the time paradox?
Yeah, like, did you find yourself in this place through some means outside of your control and you're just trying to get out, or are you here for a reason?
I like the idea that it's something that happened in one of the Black Mirror episodes where you just you appear in this time period. But
right,
you don't know what actually happened, but as you go forward, you realize that this is actually a punishment for like, a crime that you did, and basically they wipe your memory.
Yeah.
And if you make it through this whole thing and you become repentant for what you did, then you can be saved.
Okay, so it's actually all a simulation. Is that what you're saying? Or they have sent you back in time?
They have sent you back in time. It's just...
Okay. Your punishment is to go back in time, try not to create any sort of, major changes.
Well, that's the thing. They've got this, I'm thinking maybe even a paradox engine that they can, that they fire off anytime that you create a paradox by dying in this period.
Oh, that's part of it. Okay. Oh, no, I like that.
I can see that. The guide isn't always like really helping you either. It's more just like, it's sort of helping punish you in a way and like making things go wrong because you're in the trap.
Yeah. I really like it. So I'm picturing, there's a dinosaur level. There's like
a feudal level.
Yep. Atlantis.
Atlantis?
Yep.
It's time travel or fancy. It's just like as it's sinking.
Well, maybe killing the boss is what sets the whole thing off. The whole sinking of Atlantis.
And then you've really got a reason to find the high ground. Actually, that's good. You're like trying to find the high ground both to get your phone to load so you can get to the next time period, but also because the fucking water's rising.
Oh, I like the idea that after you defeat the boss, you have to try and find the like the rift to the next time period. And that is something that the phone can actually help you with.
Yep.
But the rift doesn't open until you defeat the boss.
Well, because it's part of your punishment, right?
Yeah.
Well, sort of. It's a little bit unclear. Like, does everybody... Is this just you? Are you like the worst criminal of all time and they've done this to you? Or do other people... Like, do you run into other criminals and they're like, oh yeah, I killed that guy, but he just comes back. I didn't make it to the portal in time. No, that probably puts less stakes on it, huh?
So good.
You got 3 minutes to get to the portal. Where is it? Back where you started. Oh, fuck. Run like crazy. Pre-scripted sort of thing from Tomb Raider.
Yeah, look, I could see it. I could see that working well.
Yeah. 3 to 1 click.
Touching.
Recording.
Serial.
With a C or an S?
S.
Okay.
So
this is about recording the very popular podcast Serial.
And it touching a lot of people.
Oh, it did. The end. Hi, I'm Sarah Koenig. Is that the right name? I hope so.
Are you a serial recorder who touches people?
maybe you're a serial toucher who records people.
Gosh, yes. What a combination.
Or you're just a toucher who serially records, or who likes to record his stories or serials, and then touch himself.
Oh God. All right. Well, okay. Let's step back from that. But I feel like there's probably some good mechanics around having to record things. I guess sounds, but like sort of puzzle mechanics around, if you have to record a sound in this level to play it back in another level to solve a puzzle or something.
Okay, so a game where your only superpower is the power of recording.
The only superpower is the fact that you have a tape recorder.
And a microphone.
You can touch the objects that you must record.
Yeah, there's touching involved. But maybe there's a challenge of like, you have to rewind and fast forward to the right point on your very short tape, so you can only hold a certain amount of each sound. It's like a looping tape of 10 seconds or something. Ooh. So it's like, I need a snippet of this song, but do I want to, record over the password that guy gave me, or do I want to record over, the magical bird that sang the life song that gives me health?
Or the magical moment that you heard the Queen fart?
Yeah, like that's going to go for a lot of money if you can get to the end of the level.
I don't know why that just came into my head, but I had a bit of a laugh to myself. So
Trevor, I'm sure you think of the Queen farting at least once a day. I know you.
Yeah, but I like the idea of having to record these different things for you. Yeah, you need to get into the speakeasy, so you record like some guy saying the password.
Yeah.
Maybe your character can't speak.
I was just about to say that. Maybe you're mute. Yeah. Yeah, I
really like that.
That could have some really interesting mechanics. Because then there could be actually an aspect of having to capture voice snippets from different people to make a sentence on your little 10-second tape.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of how the interface would work for this, like
VR.
No. I mean, maybe, but no, I meant more the recorder to sort of show, like you need to make it quite intuitive so you know what you're recording over. VR could work actually because, well, I mean, either way, but I like the idea that you get really good at like rewind, fast forward, record so you can like get to a spot on your tape quickly because that's where you need to record this bit.
So I picture this kind of like, it's a technology almost like a mini disc recorder sort of thing in which you got tracks and you can see like the order in which things were and maybe you can move them around in your recording. Okay. But, you can only hold like the SD card that you got in there at the moment can only hold 7 recordings.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you get upgrades later on or maybe upgrade to 7. Like maybe you start with only 3 or something just so it's less complex to begin with. Mm. Yeah, I like that a lot.
And then, each thing that you record gets its own sort of, name that actually will mean something to you. So if you heard like a password.
Yeah, well, or I was even thinking that you could have some sort of interface that shows like the words that were said, along this segment of the track or whatever, just to make it a bit easier. So you can know, you're like, all right, fast forward to after the word, but with 1 T. So you can put whatever else. Yeah.
I really like this idea. This has a lot of story that it can go. A lot of potential.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really just a mechanic we've come up with, but I like that. You could really develop a cool story around that.
Challenging for UX creation.
Definitely.
But if you nail that user interface and user experience.
Oh yeah, I love that idea of the player getting really good at like, oh shit, I'm going to have to capture this, and just like really quickly like, oh shit, go to track 3, fast forward, to this point because this is where I'm going to need it. Obviously it'd be hard you didn't need to give them multiple chances to get a particular phrase or whatever, but.
Oh yeah. I'm picturing that, it's like a typical game in which people are constantly repeating the same lines.
Yeah. Either that or you have to come up with a lot of different ways for them to slip a particular word into their, dialogue.
Well, I'm just sort of thinking about whenever you played like Monkey Island and all that sort of stuff, and you talked, you could literally have the same conversation 50 times, and they said it the exact same way every time.
Yeah, it's funny that. It's almost like they were pre-recorded and not actual people living in a machine.
How they did it, we'll never know.
All right. Well, let's move on to our final segment. So, Andrew, when we have a game dev on, what we like to do is do a little segment where we take the name of your game that you're working on.
Yes.
In your case, Brief Battles. We throw away everything we know about what that game looks like, how it plays. We just take the name and we come up with a completely new game that would fit that name. So that's what we're going to do. So Brief Battles. What does that look like? Blue sky. My mind initially just goes to, obviously battles it's going to be some sort of competitive game. Maybe something you're having to do something really quick. Like they're over really quickly. I don't know. What do you think, Trevor? Or Andrew? Someone. Speak other than me.
I feel like it's such a hard, without knowing, it's like the generic sort of term, like you've got that sort of stick fighter vibe to it where you just all get put into a space and it's going to be over within like 10 seconds.
Well, maybe it's like a kind of a WarioWare fighter.
It's like the round time you start up and it's like, it's got 5 seconds on the clock and you've got...
Yeah, it's like 3, 2, 1, fight! 3, 2, 1, over.
For some reason, what I saw in my head though was lawyers in a courtroom.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They've got their briefs ready.
Briefs, yep.
And they're basically just throwing them at each other. And that's what I've just seen as brief battles.
All right, so we're
going for more serious law, battling it out in the courtroom.
Yeah.
So is it still the briefs? Is still the are we going for the double entendre here? And it's like both brief and they're battling with briefs.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
Let's just go the triple and they're just in their underwear as well.
No, I think your WarioWare fighter idea is a much better idea than my lawyer idea.
Yeah, so I kind of like that idea that it's you get like WarioWare, you get that short amount of time to figure out what your controls are, what your actions are, what possible actions you have, and it's like, oh shit, all right, I need to uppercut, boom. And then the next one is, maybe it's a completely different setting and you've got a gun and it's aiming and shooting, or I don't know.
Well, maybe Brief Battles is what 1-2-Switch always wanted to be.
Oh, so a multiplayer thing?
It's a multiplayer thing where two people are doing something and you got to do it really, really quick against each other, and you basically got small little battles in which you can...
Oh, like a competitive WarioWare.
Yeah, competitive WarioWare against each other, having to do something similar to a WarioWare, or shaking up a bottle as quick as you can, and whoever does it first is the winner, sort of thing. Yeah,
or like a test your might sort of. Is that what it
button
was?
Mashing.
The Mortal Kombat thing.
Yeah,
button hammering. Yeah. That could be cool.
Pretty sold on that. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, Andrew, but you're gonna have to throw away your other game because this is now Brief Battles.
Sell my name to Nintendo and
yeah. Well, I guess they'll pay you out for it.
No. I'm now trying to wonder how we can get a juicy cupcake in there.
Yeah, okay. That's part of the game. I mean, that's just one of the levels. You just throw... is a juicy cupcake just like a moist cupcake, or is it literally like if you wring it out, it's just going to be liquid everywhere? Like, how juicy are these cupcakes?
We're talking about like a pretty, I don't know, I guess it's like a jelly-filled, juicy cupcake with wibbly consistency if you saw it run.
Yeah, totally.
Has arms and legs, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's anthropomorphic.
Just have brief battles of cupcakes battling it out.
Oh
swaying.
God, I love the
crumbs and jam.
Yeah, I love the possibility of sort of battling cupcakes and just bits of them coming off, jelly and jam and crumbs everywhere. So by the end of the battle, even the winner is not much of a cupcake left. They're pretty smeared and broken.
That is sort of like one of the first game demo ideas we made was the juicy cupcake battling mutant lamingtons. And it is probably something we want to come back to one day. But
definitely, awesome. Yes. Is there a cupcake Easter egg in Brief Battles?
Not currently, no. But I think in time there definitely will be.
So I did actually have a question.
Yes.
So how did you guys come up with the idea of Brief Battles?
Oh man. It started out with a different sort of game jam idea a few years back now, where we just made like a bunch of game jam ideas in 1 year and then picked our favorite to turn into something better. And we made this little like vertical slice called Melon Quest, where you played as Kevin, a caped hero in his underpants, running around collecting melon and munching down and spitting out pips at enemies to take them out.
Nice.
And like it turned out to be like a pretty good vibe when we like built the story and premise behind it. But at that point we were sort of deciding like, do we want to flesh this out into a full platformer game, which we thought would be pretty hard for story driven, or do we want to make it into a party game, which we also really wanted to make. So we ended up getting that demo together as well, like a party arena version with like 4 Kevins running around in the underpants. It was a lot of fun. So we settled on doing that in the end, which was pretty good. And it was sort of a gradual thing. We talked to some marketing people as well to get some suggestions, saying we need to kind of refine our idea, because it was just like 4 of the same person in underpants just eating melon and shooting pips with different power-ups at each other.
Yeah.
And then we just gradually embraced
at least
the
add
underpants.
some cantaloupe.
Well, there was different types of melon, for different abilities.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Watermelon.
But it was a pretty confusing game. It was like we introduced underpants and still had melon for a while, and like it took us a little while, but then we fully embraced the power of the butt, and we just held it right back to only underpants and butts.
There you go, Trevor. There's your title of the episode: Power of the Butt.
Only I think just only underpants and butts would be a title, but hey,
there you go, underpants and butts. Yeah.
Underpants and Butts is the title now. That's really awesome. Like, I mean, how close is our show to like a session that you guys would have had? Is it similar?
Yeah, I'd say there's been heaps of like sessions where we'll just sit there and throw ridiculous ideas. Like it is just like you sit there just throwing like the most stupid ideas at each other, and a lot of like the most stupid ones end up sticking and being the most interesting mechanics you could build around.
Oh yeah.
It's just knowing where to like cut and not have feature creep or things like that. But and sometimes the next day ideas are horrible when you hear them again. But
not usually for us. We release it as a podcast and they turn out to be kind of funny.
Yeah, but if we were trying to make them, I'm sure they would turn out to be horrible ideas, but we just completely bypassed that whole problem by not even attempting it.
That's okay. That's what it all clears out.
All right. I think we'll finish it there. So thanks very much for joining us, Andrew.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problems at all. Do you want to tell our audience where they can find you online and find Brief Battles?
You might as well just chase down Brief Battles. So if you look at briefbattles.com, you can wish list the game on Steam and follow it on social channels. And it'll be coming out fairly soon. We'll be announcing a release date. Not
awesome.
Too far off.
All right. Well, and for our stuff, you can, if you want to find us online, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are Bitstormcast on all of those. We are on Podchaser, podchaser.com/Bitstorm. And from there, you can find our Facebook group and our YouTube channel.
And our website as well. We're also on iTunes if you're into Apple devices, where you can rate, review, and subscribe. Check out our friends at the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. Just search for #AGPN on Twitter or the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network on Facebook. And finally, we'd like to thank Kuradust for the song Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure.
Yes, that's it. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm Andrew Freeth.
Spit those melons.